now, so Jab should be a big favorite. He might not be that big of a favorite. I would still give him the slight edge, but it's close.
Yeah, surely. But Jab also did have a little bit of awkward draws in that game. He missed one of the most important timings in the mid-game, which is ultimately what you want to be doing. From turns 4 to 6, you want to definitely be leveraging your boards for Tempo Mage to win the game. He missed exactly that. He had the beginning and the end, but no meat in the middle.
Turn 4 and turn 5 both really weak for Jab there, and kind of lost the tempo. And when you're playing Tempo Mage, that's something that you really don't.
Meanwhile, in Trump land, is there anything else you could want for early game tools right now?
This is about as good as it gets. That's a dream hand for Trump. He can deal with almost anything Jab throws out, and unless we see something like a mirror image at this point, a card that's very strong against Warrior, for example, these weapons are just going to wreak havoc on Jab's board.
You were actually saying for this specific matchup, that's probably the only thing that Mirror Image has an advantage over Arcane Blast, because Arcane Blast is great for killing a single target, of course, and getting the Flamewaker tempo. But Mirror Image is good against those weapon charges.
As good as Trump's hand is, the hand from Jab is not bad either. Again, he needs that mid-game. He needs to find those turn 4 and 5 plays. But with those double scientists, getting 2 secrets, not bad. That is really good for the tempo.
I mean, it's interesting how those small card choices can make such big impacts in a game. If that Arcane Blast, for example, was a mirror image last game even, that would have protected Flamewaker against True Silver Champion, that could have been a completely different game.
And you know what? Even though Jab does get this tempo, though, Counterspell is not entirely too effective when it only blocks things like the coin. So there are some implications of Jab getting this spells and secrets but not having much value off of them.
Absolutely. That coin for Trump is really a big deal here. He will be able to take out the counterspell without any trouble, really.
Alright, and weapons are so good against secrets, specifically against Mage, because it doesn't trigger anything. It triggers spells, it doesn't trigger minions, it just kind of impacts the board, and that's not what you want. The only thing that's good against the weapons are usually Effigy, which we don't even know if is in Jab's deck at this point. Probably not. We've seen Mad Scientist pull everything by now.
Oh wow, is he gonna go for the unstable portal here? There's going to be some extra cards for Trump.
Well, it could also dodge twice and hit the face. If it does, then there's no cards being drawn from this turn.
Wow, going for the Arcane Blast, giving Trump 2 cards, but he knew that the Acolyte would be drawing 2 cards regardless because of the Death Spite. Okay. Then the Arcane Blast, even though that's not good value for it, it looks like it's not going to get much better later on, so might as well just use it.
Absolutely. Now, Trump does know that Mirror Entity is up currently, so he has to be very aware of what's happening. So if he chooses to give his opponent Armorsmith, that's the least offensive thing to what he can give him, right? Like, Armorsmith's a very defensive card, so Jab can't really convert that to offense.
Yeah, he could potentially bash first here on the Flamewaker, because he doesn't want to give his opponent the extra armor after using the Death Spite, so that would allow him for the full clear.
Although he does have to coin before that if he wants to give up the coin for a counterspell.
That is true. Yeah, he needs to keep that in mind.
Yes, there are 2 secrets up right now. One is counterspell, the other is Myriad.
Yep. Goes for the coin on that.
Very good sequencing too. So I know Trump was always worried about maybe his technical play wouldn't be up to par compared to the regionals, but this is a full board clear.
Yeah. Well, the sequencing was actually a tiny bit off. It's 1 extra armor. That's not a big deal. He could have used the bash first because now there's the Armorsmith, but that's really tiny.
I'm all right giving Jab the extra armor to play around maybe something like Effigy.
Yeah, no, you're actually correct, Savid. So there was that one or a couple extra armor points.
We saw this both of the secrets in previous game. It was only Mirror Entity and counter.
That's right, and he never saw any more, so he knows exactly.
Yeah, because like the Mad Scientist died and nothing else was pulled afterwards.
Correct.
Yeah, but there we go. Grand Crusader. Oh, and he picks up some extra cards.
Basically, Arcane Intellect number 2 or 3. All right, well. Trump does pick up ways to deal with the Grand Crusader. He has Slam and Fire War Axe. He also has minions he can play in response to.
Yep.
Actually, he's got several plays. He can also Suicide Shield Slam and play the Sludge Belcher.
I kind of like just running in the Armorsmith, using the Execute or the Shield Slam and then developing the Belcher. Belcher is really good minion to get out here.
Yeah, given the option between Shield Slam and Execute, I'm not surprised to see Trump use the Execute. The Warriors nowadays have such an easy time getting lots of armor, and that Shield Slam is just a much more flexible card.
True that. Now, Trump normally would be like, oh, Dr. Boom, oh, whatever should I do? It's like, well, I've got Big Game Hunter. I think I'm okay. And that's going to be a full board clear on Trump's side.
Wow. That Boombot going where Trump wants it.
Yep.
Warrior can take the face damage, but he doesn't want that Sludge Belcher going down.
See? And another boom bot to face.
Bad news for Jab. He got his boom bots nullified for practically nothing, and Armor Up negates basically half that damage. Uh-oh. He's going to need some help from potentially Flame Waker or whatever he can get off the top of his deck.
Azure Strike, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, Jab's got a lot of cards to work with, and Unstable Portal can make dreams come true. So I've seen it firsthand.
Well, I mean, some of these scenarios, it's just like you don't expect it, and then all of a sudden, Unstable Portal pulls Black Knight, and you just kills Sludge Belcher. You're like, what? No one plays that card since 2014! And then you die.
Deathwing?
Well, definitely wouldn't be enough mana to play. Oh my god!
What
a Kodo Rider
thing!
All right, right now, what does this card do?
Kodo Rider? Yeah. Well, apparently for 3 mana now. It's a 3/5. With Inspire, make another 3/5 Kodo. So you can generate a massive board using your hero power very quickly. That's a hell of a card to get.
That 3/5 sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I guess we find out what Inspire can do with low mana cost. Jab is opting to keep the Kodo Rider, because even though it looks the appealing play right now, it is challenged on board relatively easily.
Yeah.
You want to play it on a turn where your hero power actually makes an impact, a turn where you want to use that.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Absolutely.
Now,
Trump does have an easy way to clear this. The big game hunter trading favorably for the Azure Drake. Could take out the Monoburn with either the weapon or the Belcher. I would probably lean towards using the Belcher because that's the last weapon that he has right now, and the Belcher being at 2 toughness instead of 4 is not that big of a deal.
He also has the option of slamming the Drake using the weapon and then keeping the big game hunter alive to challenge whatever comes out next.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite play too.
For Sylvanas.
Yeah, that looks solid.
Yeah, the problem with using Brawl here is that it's just, it kills your own minions too, so you don't want to necessarily impact it that way. Plus, Brawl could be your answer to the Kodo Rider if it gets disastrous.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are we taking it slow or playing aggressive with Sylvanas onto the board?
Oh, you slamming.
Yeah, probably just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Even more stuff in the board.
You know what? I like it too because Alex Straza, so you have the opportunity to just maybe even Alex Straza your opponent and bring him down to what? Like 3 HP?
So we mentioned this earlier. This is one of the harder matchups for Jab, and this is why. You have cards like Arcane Missile in your deck who just have kind of a low impact against Control Warrior. Not bad, though.
Let's get moving.
The Kodo Rider is going to come down here.
Let's get moving.
And shut down the big game hunter, summon another 3/5, and Sylvanas will win this brawl. And Trump has a lot of good opportunities here. Now, he can also make it to potentially steal only.
Yeah, I think he should suicide the slime off first before going for the brawl. You really don't want that slime to win the brawl.
Does he have to brawl at the same time?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe you just kill off the Kodo Rider.
He could actually steal the Kodo Rider by using the slime and execute on one of the other minions, then using the Sylvanas, shield slamming his own Sylvanas.
And stealing the Kodo Rider.
Yeah, but I think from this attack, it seems like he's going to go for the brawl. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't. The slime might win now.
He could get punished by this.
Get in there, little slime.
Ooh.
No,
Sylvanas winner. Yeah.
She's the queen of the board. Get out of my game, says Trump. Sylvanas to Jab. Following up this with the shield block is perfectly fine if you want to drop Alex Straza the following turn, because you only have 10 mana the next turn. You can't do shield block and Alex Straza.
Jab's looking for a flame cannon, some lucky arcane missiles.
Ooh. Unstable portal. Another Kodo Rider?
Another Kodo Rider, Savitz, you are a dirty man. Now, Pilot Shredder does challenge Sylvanas very appropriately because of the sequence that the minions were played. The Death Rattles triggers in the order the minions came onto the board. So Sylvanas will trigger first, Pilot Shredder will trigger second, meaning that they won't steal the minion that comes out.
Yep, Trump does have the option here to steal. He could go for Alex Straza on his opponent first, then hit him for face, maybe shield some... Oh. Okay. Yeah. Or if he wants to keep his Sylvanas, this is also a fine play.
Yeah, you know what? He's gotten this far with Sylvanas, might as well just go the entire distance.
Right.
Trump is a committed man.
Yeah, and Trump saw last turn that Jab did not have an easy way to deal with the Sylvanas. So if he didn't have a way to deal with it last turn, it's unlikely that he could deal with it now.
Right, and there's bigger problems than the Sylvanas. He might die, so he's going to arcane the missiles.
I would have liked to see the fireball come out first. You don't want to hit that.
Okay.
It's pretty small, but... Yeah.
I mean, it works out fine because he's got the Ironfold Rifleman for a full board clear. That's definitely an application you don't see every day.
Wow, Jack finds a full clear. This game is not over.
Wow, great sequencing here to be able to get everything.
That solemn vigil value.
That's an incredible turn from Jab right there. That's so powerful.
Oh!
But Trump gets the boom.
It feels like Dr. Boom comes to save the day.
Once again, what a card.
What a bro. Dr. Boom coming into it. And Trump says, all right, he already used the fireballs. Surely he needs just Flame Strike or something to clear the board.
Let's see what he gets.
Forked Lightning.
Confused. And the forked lightning.
A weapon to potentially change the tides. King's Defender comes into him. There's no taunts or anything. And even if he did, Jab would still be in trouble.
Is that a mech weapon?
The wrench, yeah.
Wrench, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's hilarious. Because these boom bots are mechs, the Cogmaster's wrench actually gets a buff.
Oh my goodness, we might potentially see I was going to say that we might see a confused lethal, but it's not going to happen. That armor smith is going to go down.
That's right. Jab going to buy himself some time. Frostbolt the Dr. Boom.
Oh, that's going to do it.